The internet is buzzing, the streets are talking, and fans cannot believe what just went down. T.I., the self-proclaimed King of the South, has officially lost his cool, and this time, he's aiming all his fire at none other than Charleston White. Yes, you heard that right, Charleston White, the outspoken internet personality who never shies away from controversy, decided to come after T.I.'s son, King Harris. And let me tell you, Tip did not hold back. It all started with Charleston throwing shade, calling out King Harris in one of his wild rants, questioning his upbringing, mocking his behavior, and straight up disrespecting his family name. Now, if you know anything about T.I., you know he might stay quiet when it comes to industry beef, but when you bring his children into the mix, that's crossing a line he's not letting anyone step over. Witnesses say T.I. snapped like never before, going off in a way that had fans both cheering and gasping in disbelief. Social media erupted, clips went viral, and people are calling this one of the most explosive celebrity clashes of the year. And trust me, this story only gets crazier from here. The feud began in the most unexpected way, yet somehow everyone saw it coming. Charleston White had been on a roll for weeks, attacking rappers, celebrities, and anyone who dared to disagree with his outlandish opinions. His live streams were filled with sharp insults and reckless claims. But this time, he decided to take direct aim at King Harris, Tia's teenage son. With a smirk on his face and no filter in his words, Charleston questioned King's attitude, mocked his street persona, and even hinted that the boy was nothing more than a spoiled kid pretending to be tough. Man, that little boy ain't built like that, Charleston said in one of his rants. He out here trying to act grown, trying to be a gangster, but he ain't got no scars, no lessons. His daddy too busy playing King of Atlanta to raise him right. Somebody need to tell that boy sit down before the streets humble him. The internet gasped. Fans couldn't believe how far Charleston went. Dragging celebrities was one thing, but bringing their children into the spotlight was dangerous territory. Within hours, clips of the rant spread across social media like wildfire. King Harris's name was trending, not for music or antics, but because of Charleston's harsh words. T.I. heard about it almost immediately. According to those close to him, the rapper was already furious before even watching the video. But when he sat down and listened to Charleston mocking his son, something inside him snapped. "Nah, this ain't just entertainment," T.I. reportedly muttered. "You don't talk about my boy like that." Those around him tried to calm him down, reminding him that Charleston thrived on attention and controversy. But Tip wasn't hearing any of it. For years, he had built his reputation as a family man who, despite his past mistakes, prided himself on protecting his children. Seeing his son ridiculed on such a large platform lit a fire in him that no one could extinguish. The next day, T.I. appeared on Instagram Live, his face stern, his tone sharp. Fans could see the fury in his eyes. "Listen here," he began, pointing at the camera. "Charleston White, you crossed the line. You can say what you want about me. I've been in this game long enough to handle it. But my son, my child? Nah, we not playing that. You talk about King, you talking about me. And I ain't the one to let that slide." The live quickly gathered tens of thousands of viewers. People were commenting nonstop, some cheering Tip on, others warning him not to stoop to Charleston's level. But T.I. wasn't backing down. He continued, his voice rising with each word. "See? Folks think 'cause I'm chill these days, 'cause I'm focused on my family, that I've lost that fire. Nah, I'm still Tip from Bankhead. I don't play when it come to my kids. You gone respect mine, period." The internet exploded again. Clips of T.I.'s live went viral just as fast as Charleston's original rant. Fans were divided. Some applauded T.I. for defending his son, while others argued that engaging with Charleston was giving him exactly what he wanted. Still, everyone could sense that this wasn't over. Hours later, Charleston doubled down. In another live session, he laughed off T.I.'s response, claiming that he had touched a nerve and exposed how soft celebrities really were. Man, look at him, mad over some words. Charleston chuckled. If the shoe fit, wear it. I said what I said, and I ain't talking it back. That boy gonna end up in trouble if somebody don't check him. I'm just saying what everybody's scared to say. The boldness shocked even his own followers. Charleston wasn't apologizing. He was provoking Tip even more. Fans began to anticipate a direct confrontation. Memes popped up, gossip blogs churned out headlines. And everywhere you looked, the drama between T.I. and Charleston dominated conversations behind the scenes. King Harris himself was fuming. Sources close to the family revealed that King wanted to address Charleston directly to prove he wasn't scared. "Man, let me talk to him, Pops," King allegedly said. He don't know who he messing with, but T.I. wasn't having it. He told his son to stay out of it, to let him handle the situation. "This ain't your fight," T.I. told him. "I'm not gonna let nobody bait you into something reckless. You let me do this." Fans, however, speculated that King might not stay silent for long. He had always been outspoken and quick to defend himself, and many believed it was only a matter of time before he broke his silence. As the days went on, the tension built like a pressure cooker. Every time Charleston posted, fans rushed to see if he would mention King or Tip again. And almost every time he did, double quotes T.I. "Mad 'cause I told the truth." Charleston sneered in one video. "That boy ain't cut out for the life he trying to portray. Y'all mad 'cause I said it out loud, double quotes." Meanwhile, I began receiving support from fellow rappers and celebrities who believed Charleston had gone too far. Boosie, who had his own share of internet drama, even spoke up in an interview. "Look, I know Tip," Boosie said. "He love his kids. You don't bring no man's family into no beef. Charleston out here playing with fire, and one day, he gone meet the wrong one." The comments stirred things up even more, as fans wondered if other rappers would jump in to back Tip. It wasn't just about family anymore. It was becoming a conversation about respect, legacy, and how far internet personalities could go before crossing dangerous lines amid the chaos. Charleston did something no one expected. He announced he was coming to Atlanta for a public appearance. "Yeah, I'll be in Tip's backyard," he boasted. Let's see if he really about that life he talkin'. That announcement was the spark that set the internet ablaze. Fans were convinced this was about to escalate into something bigger than words. Speculations flew. Would Tip confront him in person? Would security have to step in? Was this beef about to turn into a headline-grabbing showdown? People close to T.I. said he was torn. Part of him wanted to prove his point face-to-face, to let Charleston know he couldn't play with his family's name. But another part of him knew that any confrontation could spiral out of control and damage his reputation even further. Still, those who knew him best admitted they had never seen him this heated in years. The build-up to Charleston's arrival in Atlanta felt like a storm brewing. Fans on social media were posting countdowns, gossip pages, promised to live stream every moment. And the entire entertainment world was watching closely. And then, the day finally came. Crowds gathered at the venue where Charleston was scheduled to appear. Cameras were rolling, fans were chanting, and everyone waited for the unexpected. The tension in the air was so thick it felt like electricity. And just when people thought it might all be talk, a familiar figure pulled up outside. T.I. had arrived. And that's where the real drama began to unfold. When word spread through the crowd that T.I. had pulled up, the energy shifted instantly. Fans started screaming, phones shot into the air, and security began pushing people back, trying to keep order. You could feel the tension ripple through the venue like a wave. Everyone knew this wasn't just another celebrity sighting. This was about to turn into something unforgettable. T.I. stepped out of the black SUV with that unmistakable bankhead, confidence. His face stone cold, his eyes sharp, like he was carrying the weight of every insult hurled at his son. People were shouting his name, some begging him to keep calm, others egging him on to handle it. Tip didn't wave, didn't smile, didn't speak to anyone. He walked straight toward the entrance, his jaw clenched so tight, it looked like he might break his teeth. Inside, Charleston White was already holding court, cracking jokes on stage. basking in the attention. He knew T.I. was coming. He had been waiting for it. Double quotes, oh. So the King of the South done showed up. Charleston laughed into the mic when he caught word. Well, bring him on in. Let's talk. Or maybe he gone come in here barking like a dog. It's protecting that little boy who'd think he a gangster. The crowd booed and cheered at the same time. It was chaos. Some fans couldn't believe Charleston was provoking Tip even further, while others lived for the drama. The cameras zoomed in, bloggers whispered about the confrontation. And everyone braced for impact. And then, I walked in. The room froze. The chatter died down. All eyes turned to the two men standing across from each other. One, a legendary rapper with a reputation for protecting his own. The other, an internet personality who thrived on poking bears. It was a standoff that felt bigger than music, bigger than gossip. This was personal. Tip didn't waste time. His voice cut through the silence like a blade. You got something to say about my son? He asked, his tone calm but laced with fire. Charleston smirked, leaning into the mic. I already said it. Your son out here wildin', acting like he from the streets when he not. I just told the truth. If the truth hurt, that's on y'all. The crowd gasped. Fans could see T.I.'s hands clench at his sides, his chest rising and falling as he tried to keep his composure. Nah, see? What you did, Tip shot back, was disrespect my family. You can talk about me, you can drag my name, I don't care. But you don't play with my children? That's where you cross the line. Charleston, never one to back down, leaned forward and mocked him. Man, your son out here making himself a target. He talk tough, he act tough. So why can't I say he ain't built like that? If he a man, let him stand on it. He a child, T.I. snapped, his voice raising. And any grown man who goes after children is a coward. You trying to bait him into something because you can't handle me? The room erupted. Some people shouted facts, while others laughed nervously, waiting for the next bomb to drop. It was no longer just a debate. It was a battle of pride, of legacies colliding. Charleston grinned, clearly feeding off the attention. You think you scary, Tip? I ain't scared of you. You can't whoop me with your words. You a rapper. I'm a truth teller. And the truth is, your son gon' end up a headline if he keep on acting like that. The moment those words left his mouth, Tip lunged forward. Security immediately rushed in, pushing both men back before it turned physical. The crowd screamed, some chanting Tip's name, others egging on Charleston. The tension was boiling over. And everyone's phone cameras caught every second. As security tried to calm things down, T.I. shouted over the noise. You want clicks, you want views, that's all this is. But you've not gone use my family for your circus. You don't know nothing about my son, nothing about how he's raised, nothing about the man he becoming. Keep his name out your mouth. Charleston, still smirking, replied, if he keep acting out, I'll keep toking. Simple as that. The back and forth went on, both men refusing to back down. Finally, T.I. turned to the audience, his voice shaking but powerful. Y'all think this entertainment, but it's deeper. This about real lives. This about fathers protecting their families. And I'll tell you now, I'll fight anybody. I'll stand against anybody. That mean my kids gone be respected. The crowd roared, many of them standing to applaud. Some fans even started chanting, Tip, Tip, Tip. But Charleston wasn't moved. He laughed into the mic again, shaking his head. All that tough talk don't change the facts, he said. Your boy ain't ready for the life he trying to live. You can't protect him forever. Tip pointed directly at him, his voice low but menacing. And you can't hide behind these cameras forever. Security quickly escorted T.I. out of the venue to avoid things spiraling further. Outside, fans swarmed him, begging for pictures, shouting support, and asking what was going to happen next. T.I. didn't stop to pose. He only said one thing before getting back into the SUV. This ain't over. And just like that, the internet had enough fuel to burn for weeks. Every platform lit up with clips of the confrontation. Some fans praised Tip for standing up for his family. Others claimed Charleston had one by getting under his skin. Everyone had an opinion, and the drama only seemed to grow. King Harris, who had been quiet up until now, finally broke his silence. In an Instagram story he posted, "Folks always got something to say, but I ain't scared of nobody. Y'all keep my name out y'all mouth 'cause I'm gone, stand on mine." That post sent shockwaves through social media. Fans debated whether King was adding fuel to the fire or proving Charleston's point. Some worried he was putting himself in more danger, while others admired him for speaking up. Meanwhile, rumors spread that Tip was planning to sit down for a full interview to address everything. Insiders claimed he wanted to tell his side of the story in detail, to clear the air and show people he wasn't backing down from protecting his son. But before Tip could even confirm the interview, Charleston made his next move. In yet another live stream, he taunted Tip, saying, "You had your little moment, but I'm still here. You can't silence me. If you mad now, just wait, 'cause I got more to say." Those words promised more fireworks. And fans braced themselves for the next chapter. And that chapter was about to unfold faster than anyone expected. Charleston's latest live stream was like throwing gasoline on an already blazing fire. Thousands tuned in as he sat back in his chair, grinning like the chaos was his playground. He replayed clips of the confrontation from the venue, pausing every few seconds to mock TA's expressions and body language. "Look at him," Charleston cackled, pointing at the screen. "Mad, shaking, about to pop a vein. I got under his skin and I didn't even have to break a sweat. This the same man who called himself King of the South? Man, please, I own him right now. He dancing to my tune." The comments section exploded. Fans were torn between shock, laughter, and anger. Some called Charleston a genius for flipping the narrative, while others begged him to stop before. Things turned dangerous. But Charleston wasn't listening. He thrived on the attention, and with every word, he pushed the boundaries further back in Atlanta. T.I. was boiling. Close friends revealed he barely slept that night, pacing around his home, replaying the confrontation in his head. What hurt the most wasn't Charleston's words about him, but the way his son was being dragged into the mud for the world to see. Tiny Tip's wife tried to calm him. "Baby, you can't let this man get to you," she told him, her voice steady but concerned. "He wants you to react, that's all. Don't give him the satisfaction." Tip shook his head, his voice low but filled with conviction. "Nah, it ain't about him no more. It's about what people think they can say about my family and get away with. If I don't stand up, if I don't check this, then everybody gone think it's open season on mine." Tiny sighed, knowing that once Tip made up his mind, there was little she could do to sway him. Still, she worried the feud was spiraling into something they couldn't control. The next day, T.I. took to social media again, this time sitting in his studio, his tone calmer but no less firm. "Listen," he said, staring straight into the camera. "This man out here trying to make a circus out of my son. But I'm gon' tell y'all right now, that boy is protected. I don't care what nobody say. I raise mine with love, with discipline, and with values. Don't get it twisted. We ain't perfect, but we are family. And ain't nobody, I mean nobody, gon' tear that down." Fans flooded the comments with support. "We got your back, Tip," one wrote. "Protect King at all costs," another added. The video quickly went viral, drawing sympathy from parents everywhere who could relate to defending their children. But Charleston wasn't backing down. In yet another clip, he ridiculed Tip's emotional video. "Look at him crying like a preacher," Charleston sneered. "Talking about love and family. Man, stop it. Your boy out here fighting in parking lots and flashing money on live, and you want to act like he a choir boy? Nah, I ain't buying it, and the world ain't either." The insults cut deeper because there was some truth behind them. King Harris had made headlines before for altercations and bold statements on social media. Critics argued that Charleston was only saying what many already whispered. But to Tip, that didn't matter. To him, this was about respect. The feud began drawing attention from mainstream outlets. Talk shows, podcasts, and even late-night hosts started weighing in. This is like watching a reality show unfold in real life. One commentator joked, "T.I. versus Charleston White, who's really winning?" The public spectacle left King Harris stuck in the middle. Sources close to him said he felt torn between letting his father defend him and proving he could stand on his own. He posted another message to his followers. "Folks act like they know me, but don't know nothing. Keep watching though. I ain't going nowhere." That only fueled the fire. Within hours, Charleston clapped back with another jab. "See? I told y'all." He wanna be grown. He wanna play in the dirt. Well, if you wanna play, you gotta take the heat. Don't cry now. Fans were stunned at how relentless Charleston was. Even those who supported his truth-telling admitted he was walking a dangerous line. Every day the feud escalated. The risk of something bigger happening grew. Then came the twist no one expected. Rumors leaked that Charleston had been offered money for a sit-down interview with a major media outlet. But only if he and T.I. would appear together. Insiders claimed the network saw dollar signs in the feud, imagining ratings through the roof if the two men confronted each other face-to-face with cameras rolling. When the news hit, fans went wild. Could T.I. and Charleston actually agree to such a stunt? Would they sit across from each other and hash it out? Or would the tension boil over into chaos? The internet buzzed with speculation. And hashtags like #TipTheseCharleston started trending. Behind closed doors, T.I. was hesitant. He didn't want to give Charleston a bigger platform, but he also didn't want the narrative to spin out of his control. According to sources, he told his team, "If I go in there, I'm gone. Make sure folks know the truth. I ain't about to let him clown my family on national TV." Charleston, on the other hand, jumped at the opportunity. "Oh, I'll sit down with him," he bragged on live. "Matter of fact, I'll sit down with him anywhere, anytime. Just make sure the camera's rolling, because I want the whole world to see me break him down." The buildup was enormous. Fans, media, and even other celebrities weighed in. Some called it a mistake. Warning tip not to fall into Charleston's trap. Others said it was the perfect chance for him to shut the internet personality down once and for. All as negotiations for the sit-down continued. T.I. posted a cryptic message. "Sometimes you gotta face the devil to protect your angels." And with that, the stage was set for one of the most highly anticipated showdowns in recent memory. The world held its breath, waiting to see if T.I. and Charleston would actually go through with it. The announcement finally came. A date was set. Cameras would roll. Tip and Charleston White were going to sit across from each other in a highly publicized interview. Fans counted down the days. Gossip sites prepared nonstop coverage, and both men sharpened their words like weapons. This wasn't just about insults anymore. This was about pride, family. And who would come out on top when the smoke cleared and when the big day arrived? Nothing could have prepared fans for the drama that unfolded in that studio. The studio lights glared bright, cameras positioned at every angle, microphones poised to catch every breath. The world was watching, literally. Fans tuned in from all over, streams overloaded with viewers eager to see what would unfold. The tension in the air was thick. Like the calm before a thunderstorm, on one side of the table sat T.I. His expression serious, his body language controlled but radiating intensity. On the other side, Charleston White leaned back casually in his chair, a smirk plastered on his face as if he'd already won the battle just by showing up. The host barely had to say a word before sparks started. "Flying. We here today," the host began, "to hopefully get to the bottom of this heated situation between T.I. and Charleston White. Gentlemen, let's..." "Nah," T.I. interrupted, his eyes locked on Charleston. "Ain't no bottom to get to. He disrespected my son, and that's where the line got drawn." Charleston laughed, leaning forward. "Man, I told the truth. Your boy out here acting like he tough. So I said, he ain't. Why y'all so sensitive? If you want to be a man, let him handle it like one." He, a child, Tip shot back, his voice sharp. "You a grown man. What kind of man go after kids?" You desperate for clout. That's all this is. You trying to get views off my family name." The host tried to calm the situation, but it was like trying to hold back a tidal wave. The two men were locked in a verbal duel, every sentence cutting deeper, every word raising the stakes. "You built your name off music," Charleston sneered, "but I built mine off truth. I ain't scared to say what folks think, but don't got the guts to say. And the truth is, your son ain't built for the streets he trying to play in." "You don't know nothing about my son," T.I. fired back. "You don't know his heart, his struggles, his journey. You don't get to define him. I raised mine with love and discipline, and if he stumbled, that's part of growing up. You ain't got the right to speak on him." The tension rose with every exchange. Fans online were going wild, typing out comments in all caps, choosing sides, making memes in real time. Some said I was finally putting Charleston in his place, while others claimed Charleston's calm demeanor meant he was winning the war of words. Then came the breaking. Charleston leaned forward, his smirk fading into something colder. "You think you're protecting him, but you're hurting him? You sheltering that boy so much, he gone walk into the real world blind. And when it hit him, it gone hit harder than anything I could ever say. You mad at me? But deep down, you know I'm right." For a moment, the room fell silent. T.I. stared at him, his jaw tight, his fists clenched on the table. The weight of those words hung heavy in the air. And then Tip spoke, his voice steady but laced with emotion. "You don't know what it means to be a father. You don't know what it's like to look at your child and see your legacy, your future, your heart walking around outside your body. You can call it sheltering, but I call it protecting. 'Cause I'd rather take all the hate in the world than let him carry it alone." The audience erupted in applause, clapping and cheering for Tip's heartfelt words. Even the host looked moved, nodding as if the gravity of Tip's statement had shifted the entire room. Charleston, caught off guard, tried to regain control. "Man, y'all just emotional. I deal in facts." But the energy had changed. Tip leaned in closer, his voice low but commanding. "Facts? The fact is, you built your name on tearing people down. But me, I built mine on building my family up. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you can't break us." That's the real truth. The crowd in the studio cheered louder, and for the first time, Charleston looked rattled. His smirk faltered. His eyes darted as if searching for a comeback that didn't come easily. The host quickly jumped in, sensing the moment. "Gentlemen, I think it's clear this is bigger than both of you. But maybe today we saw some clarity. Tip, your message is heard. Charleston, your perspective is noted. But at the end of the day, the fans will decide how this story plays out." The interview ended, but the drama didn't. Clips of the showdown dominated the internet within minutes. Fans dissected every word, replayed every glare, and debated who came out on top. Some crowned T.I. the winner for standing firm and pouring his heart out as a father. Others argued Charleston won by keeping the feud alive and securing even more attention. Outside the studio, Tip addressed his supporters briefly. "This ain't about winning or losing," he said. "This about standing up for what matters. My family matters. My son matters. And that's all y'all need to know." Back online, Charleston tried to save face, claiming he held his own and made T.I. emotional, but even many of his followers admitted that Tip's words about fatherhood hit harder than anything Charleston said. King Harris, watching from home, posted one last message that sent chills through fans. "My pop's always gone ride for me. That's all I need to see. The rest don't matter." The saga left the internet buzzing, friendships divided, and the hip-hop world debating where the line between entertainment and disrespect should be drawn. But one thing was undeniable. T.I. had proven he would go to war for his family, and Charleston White had proven he wasn't afraid to poke the bear, no matter the consequences. The battle may have ended in the studio, but the echoes of their words would linger long after the cameras stopped rolling, and as fans replayed the drama over and over. One question remained hanging in the air. Was this the end of the feud, or just the calm before the next storm? When the dust settled, fans were left stunned, divided, and hungry for more. T.I. showed the world a side of himself that many had forgotten, the fierce protector, the unapologetic father who would go to war for his children without hesitation. Charleston White, on the other hand, proved once again that controversy is his playground, pushing boundaries and forcing people to confront uncomfortable conversations, whether they agreed with him or not. The clash wasn't just about words. It was about pride, legacy, and the thin line between truth and disrespect. People everywhere debated the outcome. Did T.I. silence his critic by pouring his heart out? Or did Charleston win by keeping the spotlight on himself? Either way, this feud will be remembered as one of the most explosive showdowns of the year. A reminder that when family is involved, emotions run high and nothing is off limits. But the story doesn't end here. Fans are already wondering what comes next. Will Charleston back down, or will he continue his crusade for shock value? Will T.I. finally put the feud to rest, or will another spark reignite the flames? And most importantly, how will King Harris handle the weight of being at the center of it all? Now it's your turn. What do you think about this wild drama? Was T.I. right to defend his son the way he did? Or did Charleston just expose uncomfortable truths? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear every opinion. And if you enjoyed diving into this roller coaster of emotions, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next explosive story we bring your way. Trust me, the drama is far from over, and you'll want to be here when the next chapter unfolds.